Hi there and welcome to my shop. Today I want to take you on a quick tour of my workshop and show you my setup. But before I get started, let me warn you, it isn't pretty, it isn't grand, don't be expecting J-baits or anything like that. But there is a reason why I do want to show you my shop. It's because I plan on making a lot of upgrades in the near future, from electrical, lighting, new tools, mobile tools, dust collection, you name it. I'm going to upgrade this shop quite a bit. So I want to show you what it looks like now and be able to take you along as I make these improvements and show you the work as I move through it. So let's get started. Alright, so first off, just to give you an idea of the space that I'm working in, it's a one-car garage. So essentially it's 12 by 16 feet. Plus I have an extra little space in the back there that's not really usable, but I'll get to that in a second. The walls are all concrete and in pretty bad shape, as you can see. Non-insulated, but I do have a heater on the ceiling there, as well as a space heater down here that I use in the winter to keep reasonably warm. So having concrete walls that are essentially falling apart is not only quite ugly because all the paint is chipping, as you can see, and that's one of the first things I'm gonna get to. Even my ceiling is concrete, as you can see. So having concrete walls can be really annoying for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's really hard to hang stuff on the wall, like my lumber rack here. And number two, though, these columns, there's one here and another one there, and they're the same thing on the other side, column, column. So these columns can be really annoying to place tools along the wall. They really get in the way. So I have to work around that. All right. Let's get to the tools. Starting here on the left, I have my drill press. This is the drill press. It's pretty massive. It's a 13-inch, but it's pretty tall. It sits on a workbench here. I can't lift this thing on my own. I got this at an estate sale for a really good deal, and this is the drill press table that I made for it, and so far I'm really loving this. I can hold down boards and use it really safely. And as you know, it comes off just by removing the toggle clamps underneath, and then you can slide it back on and snap it into place. Next to my drill press, I have a beautiful work of art, but mostly I have my router table, which really needs to be upgraded. The table here, the surface is not at all flat. It kind of dips, it's concave. So one of the projects I have in mind is to make a new table. So stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have that one up within the next month or so. This is my newest addition to the shop, my spindle sander, or whatever you call it, my sander, rigid sander. This thing is amazing for sander. I never knew how much I needed this until I got it. You just turn it on, and sanding is done within seconds. So much better. Underneath it I have some random storage, which I'm not proud to show you, but I have winter tires, and this space is really not being used up, so hopefully I can upgrade that as well. Next to it we have the old Craftsman planer. I also got this one used. A lot of my tools are used, as you maybe can see. 12-inch planer here. When I need to use it, it's on a mobile stand, so I can roll it out and use it. Underneath it I have a bunch of push sticks and accessories for my table saw and stuff like that. This area here is the non-woodworking area. I got my gardening tools, my space heater, lawnmower, and a dehumidifier for the summer. It gets really humid, and this is to keep kind of the rust off my tools as much as I can. Random stuff, the door that leads to the house, and what you see here is essentially the clamp rack that I have right now, which is on my wood rack here, my lumber rack. So this is one of the projects too that I want to build, a clamp rack to get all of these stored nicely. This whole corner over here is the wall of wood. A lot of lumber storage, some people say, but hey, what can I say? I like wood. Unfortunately, I have this fire rack here, that firewood log holder that takes up a lot of space. It's almost empty now, but gets filled up every year, and I don't have any other room but here to put it, so that's got to stay. And then homemade lumber rack here, and this is a store-bought one. And my favorite part, my lumber storage cart. I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed this thing, having all my wood in the same place. I used to have it in boxes all around the shop in just random places, like, oh, there's still a box over there. But having it all in one place like this is just so much better. Right here in the heart of the shop is my workbench. And yes, my workbench is sawhorses with a piece of plywood on top. What can I say? When I need to take it out of the way, it's really practical. I can just fold them up, and I don't have a lot of floor space, so that's pretty amazing for that. And in the meantime, hey, I can beat it up and no issues there. Alright, so next to all my lumber here, I have my Mitre Station. My miter saw is pretty old as well, but I built this station for it, which was basically on an old, I think this was an old barbecue cart, which I just built up using some plywood, so I would have a flat surface where I can put the boards on. And I really love this thing, and you can wheel it around too, but not really optimal for storage and stuff like that, so maybe something that needs to be upgraded. I store my shop vac underneath it. I got a baby shop vac there. At least I can easily plug it in and suck up some of the dust that's made here, because it makes a lot of dust. Even though I did clean up a little bit, you can see sawdust, sawdust, sawdust. And dust collection for a miter saw is also a nice project to keep in mind. All my paints and stains and I don't know what else, an old typewriter, God knows, some gardening stuff. This rack over here is taking up a lot of real estate in my shop. And this is one of the first things that I want to move out so I can make room for more tools. I've got some random sleds here. This is my table saw sled and my, I forget what that is, my spline jig here on the floor. Probably not the best place for them. And then that's the unusable corner where old doors get stored, but unfortunately they were sitting in water for years, so they are unsalvageable. Alright, spinning around, we missed the table saw, my baby Ryobi table saw here in the middle of the shop. So next to the miter saw is my baby table saw. It's a Ryobi Contractor 10-inch saw with an aluminum top, and I really hope to upgrade this one soon. It has so many problems, this saw, I can't even get into it. But anyways, as you can see, I don't have an outfeed table or anything like that, so sometimes I flip it around and I pull my work table up to it. Good thing that's on sawhorses, and I use that as an outfeed table when I'm cutting anything pretty big. In the back corner here, I have my joiner, and I just put the mobile station on, which I'm super happy about because this corner really isn't where it belongs. But anyways, at least I can turn it around and wheel it wherever I want to use it. And then that's about it. So one thing you may have noticed is that I don't have any small tools in my shop, and that's because they're not in my shop. Because I lack room, and because it's cold and humid in there, I have a second storage room here where I keep all of my tools. I've got a lot of handheld tools under here, my drill station here, and screws, and you name it, it's in here. So I got pegboard up on the wall, got as many things as I can visible, so when I'm looking for something, I can find it. Another pegboard on this side. And a lot of the smaller, like, tools, they just get dumped here. As far as electrical goes, I added a couple plugs in it because I didn't have any at all, so I actually ran some, what do you call that, tubing, metal tubing, and I added a few plugs here, a few outlets, and one here. That's pretty much all I have in the shop. Everything else, I grabbed this extension cord here and I essentially plug stuff into, which is really annoying, so electrical upgrades is on the list. In terms of lighting, I have 4 LED bulbs that are focused all above my workbench, which makes it really bright there, but leaves dark spots in the rest of the shop. Alright, well that was the shop tour. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, anything I didn't answer in the video, you can leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. I'm looking forward to making a lot of these upgrades real soon, so stick around. See you soon.